Hurricane season is upon us. Last year was quiet, but don't be fooled. If a storm hits your town, it's a bad season, and there's no telling what they'll do this year. Prepare now. Now's the time to make sure your family's emergency plan is in place. If you don't have one, there are numerous websites offering helpful information. For those wondering what an emergency plan is all about, it happens to be our next question.
Question 8. What elements need to be in your basic emergency plan? A. Phone number of a pre-designated out-of-state contact person, and make sure you share the number with family members. B. Emergency shelter locations, including pet-friendly shelters, and how best to get there. C. Safety and contact information shared with family and friends if you remain at home. D. All of the above.
The answer is D, all of the above. Disaster preparation begins at home, and we must assume responsibility for preparing and taking care of ourselves and our families.
And I can't overstate the value of individual preparedness more than organizational preparedness. It is important to volunteer, it's important to register, be trained, but really the most important piece is those people who say, I know I need to be prepared, but they actually don't take that step to be prepared, and that's the hard part.
Question 9. Against all advice, you've decided to ride out the storm at home. Where should you take shelter? A. The garage. B. Under your bed. C. The bathroom. D. An interior room.
The answer is D, an interior room, preferably a closet, although a bathroom is often one of the stronger rooms in a house. In any event, if a hurricane is imminent, you're far better off to leave the area for a shelter or with friends 15 to 25 miles inland.
Question 10. After a hurricane, how long should you plan to be on your own without outside help? A. 4 days. B. 3 days. C. A week. D. 10 days.
The answer is B. And although most experts recommend a minimum of 3 days' supplies, it's always better to have more than you need. Make certain your stockpile of supplies includes at least a gallon of water per person per day, 7 days of non-perishable food items. Canned foods are good, just remember the manual can opener. Any necessary medications, it's a good idea to have at least 2 weeks' worth. Electric lanterns and flashlights. Emergency radio, usually available through the Red Cross or local hardware stores. And don't forget cash, because the ATMs probably won't be working. Additionally, if you've evacuated, the urge will be to get back to your home as quickly as possible, but you're better off waiting for the all clear from emergency managers. There'll be enough chaos without you adding to it.
We get a lower end of the hurricane scale, something that happens every several years in South Florida. Immediately after the storm, you have thousands of people lined up looking for water or some basic food stuff. You kind of wonder, how can you not know this is going to happen to you sooner or later in this place we live?
They all come back to one inescapable fact, and that is those of us that can and should have gotten prepared who didn't compete against the most vulnerable citizens when disaster strikes.
Whether it's a hurricane, flooding, or any other natural disaster or emergency, the key to survival is preparation. It's not difficult, but it is essential. Above all, don't be fooled by last year's relative calm. What's peaceful today could be a raging monster tomorrow. Prepare for the worst and hope for the best.